Facebook and your LinkedIn.
Oh, you only had to turn my LinkedIn off, not my Facebook.
Oh, no, it made me turn the Facebook off.
Mine
I don't know
didn't.
why I did yours and not mine.
It's
But you might be able to add it back now.
I don't
Just
know.
tell people we're having difficulties.
Let's see.
Hang tight.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're live
Hey,
anyway.
it just let me add it back.
Oh, good, because we're live. So
Oh, we're live.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're messed up today. Sorry, guys. My team put the wrong time down today. So they set it up to go live at 1 instead of noon. And here we are. Welcome. Okay, here we are. So let's, John and I haven't been on this show. Have we been on a show since we got back
It's
from
been
Rockville?
5 weeks since we've been on.
My goodness.
You and I.
That's wild. Well, welcome, everybody. Kevin left. Hopefully he'll be back. So Paul from Hot Phoenix. It's perfect here in Minnesota. Backgammon. Mike, how you doing? Aaron, how you doing? Get a pop up that says the show doesn't start till 11. All right. Hopefully you're live now, Robin. Yeah. Anyway, and okay, cool. Well, welcome again, and we're going to jump into this here real quickly, talking about some of the new stuff in X17. So if you're on let me share my screen here, and yeah, that got turned off. Entire screen, and that one right there. So you should be seeing this right here where it says what's new in X17, and right below that you'll see a couple of links, and in those links Chief puts out a update what's new in X17. So you can click on that and you're going to see a list of what's new in X17. If you don't already have that, this is a place where you can get it. This is something they do on every release, and it's a nice summary of some of the new things. Rene and I were just commenting that, yeah, it's not a really long list. Actually, it's not bad. It's 4 pages. But we've both been discovering a lot of other little things in Chief that aren't necessarily even on that list. So it's a nice update, really a nice update, I think. And a lot of new things have been added. The other thing you'll see on this is view the Chief X17 What's New page. And this is not available yet. I couldn't find this link anywhere on their website. All I know is that each time they do a new release, they use the same exact link. So I just clicked the link from last X16 update, and it took me to the X17 update.
Don't tell them that. They're gonna fix it next year.
No, they'll change it. Sorry. Anyway, so here's your X17 new feature summary, and actually with the PDF, they do use the same link every time too. They put in, if you just change that number, you'll get the new updated one. Anyway, so
Dan,
it's a nice way they keep it simple.
Just to remind you, I can't put up comments or anything because I'm a guest today.
So you'll just have to say them, or Rene, if you could do them while each of us are presenting, everybody else watch the comments, and feel free to just chime them out, John.
Okay.
So the thing that's nice about this, and I highly recommend you watch all of this stuff because they really do a nice job. I'm going to give Chief a super kudos here because they really do a nice job with these graphics, showing some of the new features. They got a quick list here, basically the same list you have in the PDF, just sorted out with some nice pictures. So check it out. And there's about a 19-minute video, or they've broken it down into smaller videos that, again, they kind of zip through some of these things pretty quick. And it's really a nice synopsis on some of the things that they've added to the new release. So check it out after the show. You guys been on that page? You've seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Any of you? Okay, so you've already been there. Is there a link to that on their website? They don't usually put that up until they're out of the public beta.
Oh, wait, show me again.
This page right here.
Yeah.
What's Chief Architect X17? Because if you go to their website now, it's just X16. They don't put this page up until it's out of public beta.
Yeah.
So it says beta now. there's got to be a link somewhere because they're saying it's in beta now. So I just couldn't find it. So I just use the same link every time. Anyway, and then another quick thing I'll address before we move on is people have been asking what's happening with the Pro Academy. Pro Academy will be going live in a couple weeks, and I will let everybody know. So I've been working hard to whole new format. We've got our pop-out menu here, which works really well. So getting everything organized. We're going to be doing live meetings twice a month, some Q&A calls. I'm going to do some formal presentations on certain parts of Chief Architect. More formal, more in-depth than you see in the show like this and some of the other things that we do online. We're going to have, we'll have a calendar with all sorts of events. And then, of course, our announcements will go up there. So you'll be able to, pop in here. The goal is to make it a really user-friendly site. Search's function is outstanding, so you'll be able to find topics. And one of the things that I've been really working hard on is I want to create videos that are easy to find things in, because we create kind of long videos here. So let me turn this on quick. And so when you create a long video and you have this list like this on the website, it's hard to, you have to go fast forward to those things. Well, I finally got it figured out where now all you have to do is click here and you can go right to the topic you want to learn about, and boom, you're there. So this requires me going through every video and editing them and time coding them, not AI. Oh. So I'm the AI, but I can do it. You can do it AI, Rene. I just am doing it because I want to listen to what the hell I'm talking about.
Do you go and you rewatch your own videos?
I haven't done it for years.
Really?
And I find it interesting rewatching my own videos now. It's like, oh, I missed this, or I could have said this, and
yeah,
it's.
I always rewatch mine.
Yeah, I haven't done it for years. Remember, I've been doing this for almost 30 years, and I started out doing my videos like this, where I had to go through each one. I had no choice. There was no AI. And I listened to probably thousands of hours of myself. And it's like, after a while, I don't want to listen to me anymore, but I'm okay with it now. So I guess I'm on my next stage of my career of Chief Architect training. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, it's a little time consuming, but it's all right. I'm enjoying it. So let's talk about the new updates. So I just kind of took that same sheet that you guys can get from that link, that new features list PDF, and I condensed it onto a spreadsheet. So we're going to just go through some things today. We're going to talk about the yellow things today, and Rene and I will take time. So Rene, what I'm going to do is just kind of pop through this list on my tab and go through those, and then we'll have you switch to you, and then we'll switch to you, and you go through your things. But you guys feel free to chime in too. So
let me start by saying we're not going to touch Project Browser a ton. I already see a comment coming up from Mike, who we know about Project Browser.
Yep.
We could kill multiple shows on Project Browser. I'm going to give myself a little plug. It's not a plug. It's on my free YouTube. You could go check it out. I just published it about 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to show my screen real quick.
And one of you guys let Kevin in?
Yeah, I got him. And then this is on my YouTube. If you get into the public section right here, there's a video about Project Browser right there. I just put it out just a couple minutes ago. So if you want to get somewhat comprehensive review, that's 26 minutes long. Go check that out.
Yeah, you dug into it pretty well. As long as you're talking about that, as long as you brought that up real quickly. Yes, there's a lot of controversy about it, a lot of comments, a lot of good and bad. We are totally aware of that. So Rene and I were talking yesterday about that a little bit, and kind of like, all right, that's cool. One of the things about it is depends on what you want to do with it. So for someone like me that draws by myself, I don't have other people, but I do share plans back and forth with my clients. I'm going to try it and see how I like it. I've only been in it for a little bit. I haven't really dug into it at all. Rene, you've dug deeply into it, so you know a lot more about what's going on with it. So that's why you did that video. You wanted to share that with everybody. Can you post that link in the chat for everybody too?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And I'll post, we'll send out an email about that too. So I like it a lot. I think it's on the right track to really help us keep things in order in Chief Architect. because when you're working in Chief and you're working on these different projects, so this is what the project browser looks like. It's kind of nice to be able to have everything in one place, all of your details, all of your PDFs, everything that you bring into the plan, and the way that the layouts and the plans all link together, and Chief keeps it linked together nicely. The main thing to understand about the new project browser is Chief keeps everything in one big database. You can't just go find the plan or layout file in a folder somewhere because it's in a database file. All right. You can export the plan as a plan or as a project. You can export it as a, what do we call it? A backup like we did before, and open it like you've always done before. You can import, you can open any plan from anywhere on your computer at any time and put it in your project or not. So you don't have to use the project browser. So I think there's a lot of benefits to it. On the other hand, it's going to take some getting used to. I don't know. What are your comments, Rene? Real quickly, so we don't spend a lot of time.
Yeah,
on this today.
I think it takes some getting used to. I think there's some really nice things in there for versioning and ease of use and quickly navigating your own single user files.
I counter a little bit. I look at the traditional methods and the way people had their workflows established, and there's a lot of value in what they were doing, how they had it working, and how they see their teams and collaborators working. And it does not work that way. So it relies on human nature and habit in order to overcome that or work around its deficiencies. But Chief has said that they recognize that there's issues being brought up in the beta, and they're going to be building in corrections to those as it moves forward. They just haven't said when.
And originally I wanted to have this cloud-based so that you could access the cloud from any of your devices and everything's there. Well, they took that part out to get this part going. So this is a precursor to maybe the next version where they do introduce the cloud-based, where you'll have access to your things and you can share links to others to get to the same things, and it'll lock the file when you're working on. So we got a lot of good things coming. They've been talking about this for a long time. I'm glad to see they've got this going, so that's pretty cool. Vicky said, she's looking forward when the project manager when you'll be able to transfer between my desktop and laptop and not miss anything. And yeah, Rene, what's your solution to that right now, Rene?
Well, that's just export your CA project file. And my suggestion, and this is for your own risk tolerance, is delete it from your machine once you do that, because that export is the active copy. Think of it as you're just saving it. That's it, right? Yeah. And when you save it, close your machine. It's not in Chief Architect anymore. You got to go find it and open it again. Yeah. So if you're going to be collaborating with someone else, or you're going to go from one machine to another, export it, delete it from this machine. And
so when you export that, is it taking everything?
Yeah. In fact, Dan, if you hit delete right now, instead of export,
it'll do both.
It'll export and delete. That's why they have it there.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So you could do that. Don't worry about losing anything, because you do have a copy in your archives folder. So that's still there like it always was. So you could even just go open archives back and forth if you wanted to, if your archive was on a shared Dropbox or something. What they have said, and Rene, I was talking to you about this yesterday, Rene, was under the project management. I was wondering about this, okay? Because when you uncheck this, it says, do not put this on a shared drive. So when you go browse, it says, don't do this. Your life will end, and everything will be miserable.
I can tell you some advanced ways to do this, but that's advanced.
Not today. No, not today. So
the one thing I want to say for people that are watching this show is this is all working towards a system where your account is essentially being able to share files across account through a cloud to someone else seamlessly. Yeah. And keep in mind, Chief is having to work around 1 billion copyrights to come up with their own system. So I think they're doing a really good job. They're working towards it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rene. They're doing a superb job, and it's getting there. So I think one of the big challenges they're trying to overcome is sharing. Of course, we already know that, and I do that with Dropbox now, but is the linking of all of the stuff that goes within what you're doing with between the layout and your PDFs and pictures and graphics and images and all of this stuff. It just doesn't get saved in one file. It's all over the place. So,
all right, let's do it. New features.
Let's move on.
Somebody want to answer Aaron's question there?
Aaron Rose.
So Aaron, just look at that CA project file as it's the same as backup file with all links intact. It's basically the same as backup with all your image files. It's similar, so you could still do the same process. My thought is that you're going to delete it when you export it. That's all. And then this will always retain its links, so your team won't have to manage that link side of thing.
Yeah.
My recommendation, Aaron, with 10 users sharing files on Dropbox is that's a dicey risk that you may want to stay with the traditional until things are either more solid or more advanced in terms of sharing, collaborating.
I would agree with that.
That's what I'm going to say. If it ain't broke, you finish the sentence. Okay. If what you got's working, don't mess with the project browser right now.
Especially for collaborators, especially for teams.
Yeah. Do it.
It works great. It works great individually, but for teams, it's tougher.
But hang tight on those comments, because as we dig into it deeper,
I had to argue this one to the hilt, man.
Yeah, and as we watch Rene's, so let's come back to this topic. So for now, it's working fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to figure this out. And Rene, I know you're already on top of it. So go watch Rene's video. Maybe you'll come up with a better decision then, because he just finished this video right before the show, so I haven't even seen it. So cool. All right, let's move on. Thanks for your comments, guys. We could spend the whole show talking about that. All right. I'm going to go to the sheet here. I've arranged this such you're seeing my screen, right? Yeah. So that I'm going to just talk about things with my name after it right now, and then Rene is going to get on and talk about things with his. And you guys feel free to chime in too. So I'm not going to show this. I'm just going to run down this list quick. Sort library browse. No, I'm going to Modeless Cross-Section. All right. So what that means is the cross-section slider. So when we go into a 3D view and we go to our cross-section slider right here, this little bad boy right there, that is, where we go here? Wrong one. Those two icons always look the same to me. Okay, here we go. I didn't want that one. Let's try this again. Okay, here we go. I keep clicking the wrong one. I didn't want that one either. Let's start over. Okay, 3D view, cross-section slider. And what we could do now, what we couldn't do before is this. When the cross-section slider was open, we couldn't interact with our model. So now we can. So now we can do all of these things and still interact with the model, look into the rooms. So you're able to now rotate it around. I really like this. This will be really handy when you're looking at things, trying to figure things out, how things are lining up. So this, I think, is a really nice little feature to being able to do that. And you'll stay that way until you come back and do it and turn it off, of course. So there you go.
I think over time we're getting to a way to do 3D details really easily. I think we're a little ways off, but we're getting there.
I agree, because the models are starting to get so good. Yeah, especially like when you add framing and all that stuff. I mean, there's still things, overhangs and all that, where there's still things that have to be fixed, but it's getting close. They're doing a really good job. Consolidate import of plan settings. So when they used to have a thing in here, import plan views, import layer sets, import all of that different thing. Now it's just called import settings from a plan or a layout. So let's take a look at that. File, import plan. And so if I go find a project or a plan that I've worked on, or even a template, okay, this is one of the things I like about the project browser. There's all the different templates you could have if you're using multiple templates. I like one template. But let's say I go to this plan here and I want to import some of the things that I've set up in this to put it in my template. So I've opened my template. I'm going to import some things from a plan. I go select. Okay. I guess I could go yes there. It crashed before when I was screwing around with this. Okay, so here's all the different things I can import now. So I could import a plan view. I could import default settings. You could import just individual ones. It's really, there's obviously a lot of stuff going on, but this is really slick. So if you've been in a plan and you've set up a layer set that you want to have part of your template, now you can do that really easily. Just go open that and import it to your template. Done. So I like this a lot. It's all in one place. Very well done. Any comments on that, you guys?
We still can't import floor default.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
No, does it do all the defaults?
One of these days. No, it doesn't do the floor default.
Doesn't do any of the floor defaults, but it does defaults though, right?
Yeah, it does everything else. Yeah.
Really? Let me just, there's no.
Yeah, it still imports all the same defaults it did before, and we've never been able to import
default settings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rene, I'm assuming you've brought
Why
that up.
wouldn't they? Does they just kind of like miss that?
I don't know. We've brought it up for years.
Floor ceiling platform.
It's the only thing keeping you from truly transferring from an old template to a new template.
Yeah. Huh.
Easily,
Okay.
anyways.
Yeah.
You
know. All right. Well, this next one, continuous draw, same wall type. So for those of you that are used to drawing with your right mouse button, it's called the
this is one of my favorite features.
Alternative features. So if you draw something with your right mouse button, lines or walls, I mean, it just keeps it hooked up while you just draw, click, and hit your space bar to end. Well, now you can continue doing that just by grabbing the copy end handle. That is cool.
I mean, it's so cool. Like, break that wall, Dan. Just break one of them.
Break a wall somewhere. Okay.
This is common for me. And then now right click that continuation handle.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just sweet.
It is really nice. That's a really super nice feature.
By the way, you could hit left and right mouse button together to stop your draw as well.
Oh, they're both okay. Either one will do it.
Yeah.
Does it?
Are you saying you have to hit both together? Is that what you're saying, Rene?
Yeah.
Does that work for anything? Is it doing space when you do that, Rene?
Yeah. Same for polyline. No, it's not doing a space. It's just stopping the action.
Okay.
So space bar stops it, or if you click
space bar is select objects, but if you just left and right, you're still on the wall tool. If you just
kind of interesting, because if I start drawing a wall here and then I hit my two buttons, oh, it just still drew the wall. Okay, before it deleted it. All right, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. In fact, it'll cancel some other stuff too, but I can't remember everything it does.
All right. Let me get rid of those things.
Oh, and you can also, Lance just brought this up. Welcome, Lance. This is a good tip, is you can use tab in the middle of continuous draw, and that will continue. So like draw out a wall, hit tab, right click draw out.
Oh, cool.
Type in your distance.
Yeah, so if I go minus 10 feet, hit okay.
And it's still in continuous mode. So now you can draw with precision. Yeah.
That's cool.
This is one of the coolest productivity things that's in this list.
They need a next button here too, but I like that. Yeah. Cool. That'd be great for doing surveys. All right, there you go. That's the alternative, not type, alternative, what do they call it? Alternative something.
Function.
Right mouse button does a ton of stuff. All right, then I've got custom toolbar configuration graphics. Look at that. I created my own little toolbar and I put my own little icon on it. How cool is that, huh? So I can switch back to these different toolbars now, and then I can, so you can create your own little custom icons to switch between toolbars. So that's just a matter of you go customize toolbars, and you go to the configuration tab, and now when you have created a toolbar, you have a place to choose an icon. So kind of cool. Rene, I bet you have a bunch of those, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many toolbars do you have now?
I think I kept it to 6, but
okay.
I mean, you could do that before. It just wasn't as easy. And yeah, so that's nice. They're actually working on toolbars right now too. So I'm excited to see what happens in public.
What do you think they're doing? Any idea?
Mainly I've been badgering the heck out of them so badly about sharing configurations that I think they've got a couple little features they might get into.
Oh, you mentioned you might get that in X17 yet.
Maybe. We'll see.
That'd be cool. So the bad thing about toolbars right now is if you create a custom toolbar, like the amount of my custom toolbar is these icons and this. Okay, I keep mine really simple because when I work with a lot of clients, I'm not a Rene. I don't do super duper toolbars. Although I got to learn how to use yours anyway because I'd love to use them to draw. The only way you can give those to other people is have them. If you've not used any custom icons, they can then import a different toolbar. That's fine. But if you've done custom icons like Rene does, so I can hit the import tab here and import a toolbar. But if you've created custom icons, which Rene does a ton of, yeah, you're out of luck. So it will not. You have to replace the whole toolbar folder.
Yeah, and if you want to share toolbars now and you want to still have those links, you have to get out of managed mode just to do that. It's a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but
right. What do you got next?
Hopefully they'll add that. Bulk import of DWGs. I never imported DWG into a plan I'm working on because I don't want all the crazy layers, but I'll just import it into a CAD detail window. So if I go to my folders and I've got you could have a whole list of details you want to bring into Chief and organize. Maybe they're part of a library. You want to bring in, start setting up your libraries from all the details you have, but you just drag those onto the screen and you're going to get a little menu here that says, show import assistant. This is really nice.
I haven't tried this.
Yeah, this is really nice. So if I want that thing that pops up to show, create polylines, put them on Chief's menu, which I probably maybe would, but it also automatically puts the detail into a CAD block. So you don't end up with a whole ton of lines on top of each other from all the different details. It creates little CAD blocks and sorts them out on your screen for you. So you could even get them to add them to your library automatically. You wouldn't even have to. So if you had all your CAD blocks named properly. So let me just go ahead and hit this. I have just two here. So I've made it so it does this. So I can go check these options, that there's all the different layers that are there. I'm going to import them with the layers that they already are on in inches and hit finish. And then it's going to import those two DWGs as separate CAD blocks that I could then add to my library, add to my plan. You never even have to ungroup a CAD block in Chief, just so you know. You don't have to ungroup that to edit it. You just use this little icon right here to edit within the CAD block. So that allows you to edit just like it's ungrouped, but you're still working within the CAD block. So you don't have to end up with all these extra CAD blocks in your plan.
So
and then when you're done,
if you were to import those two and it's going to create those CAD blocks for them, but you would check the add to library button, it would add them to the library as separate CAD blocks in the library.
Yeah. Yep, it'd be separate items in my user library. One day, I hope they say, add to library in this folder.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And my little trick with this too is if it's a lot of detailed CAD stuff and I'm just referencing it. I'm not actually utilizing the CAD. I'm just drawing over the top of it or something. I'll put this in a separate file and reference it so that I'm not getting slowed down by big CAD blocks.
Yeah,
a separate plan file, you're saying?
Yeah, a separate plan file.
Yes. Yeah.
So, hey, Mike mentioned this. I want to tell you, hey, Mike, contact me. I can make you those. He's asking about a dark mode icons for Chief.
There you go.
I did Apple theme icons for someone once.
You have too much time on your hand, Rene, and I don't know how you have any time.
It's automated. That part's easy. I'd do it for him.
So I have a question about the DWGs. Do they have it so you can batch export plan views as a DWG?
I don't know. I didn't see that on the list anywhere. So export project, that's not DWG. Export all floors. This doesn't look any different than it's been. So I don't think so. You maybe want to export your elevations and all of that kind of stuff.
What would happen if you grabbed them in your user library and then right-clicked on them? Do you get an export option there where you could multi-select?
I'm just looking at
you get export all floors. and you get
Let's
export
see.
current view. Yeah, that's all I see.
Edit, update, previewed, send to layout. Nope. It's not, I don't see any export all. Delete all, edit. Yeah, one of these days. Okay, don't see it. I just showed you a feature here. We can open and close windows and doors, or windows. We could always open doors. It's just a little new icon down here to open and close. Oops, and I just closed my plan, didn't I? Close my view. So when you in the window, here it is. So you'll see an icon. Right now it says to close the door or window or open it. So you get a new icon there. And then you could just go into the dialog for the item and which the angle you want it to swing, or if it's a like a double hung or something, how you could probably set the distance that it opens. So if I only want that to open a bit,
can you open the window and jump out in a walkthrough?
probably.
No.
And then the other thing is you can set it up so that when you're on the floor plan, let's see, where'd they put that? You can show it on the floor plan as well. Here it is, show open in 2D. So then if you're doing traffic patterns and things like that, and you want to see how the window looks on the floor plan, you can.
Yeah, it might be nice to show that as that's your default egress window graphic,
Yeah, exactly. So that's really nice. Okay.
We got a question from Erin Rose. She says, is that one window at a time or all windows to open, close?
I bet you could do all of the windows at once. So if I highlight
you could select them all at once and do that setting. Yeah. I actually set up a style palette that is open and close door tools, so it's just, I get to swipe which ones I want open and close.
Okay. Show open. So I've got them both checked. So I hit OK. And if I go look at my camera,
so Aaron, you know how to make a style palette. You learned that in my class if you were paying attention. Make a style palette with your open window, open door settings, and add it to your toolbar.
Oh, I bet if I set that up as a default, they'd be open right away. Although, why didn't it do it for both of them? So when I selected them, I selected them from the floor plan, and I thought I'd check that in. Maybe I missed something. Should be able to do it as a group. So I highlighted the window icon. I highlighted all the windows. I opened the dialog. I hit.
She meant in 3D.
See that?
Yeah.
The only way to do dash. Those are dashes. They got to be check marks. So if I want to turn them all off, if I want to close them all, so now they're all closed. If I want to open them all, make sure those are check marks, not dashes. There you go. So yes, you can do that.
Erin was asking about 3D, doing that in 3D.
Yeah, she's got to do it.
Select them in 3D. Any view, just group select them. Absolutely. Yep. You can group select them from any view and modify them all at once, just like you can with anything. So, all right. I'm going to do one more thing, and then we turn over to you, Rene. Do you have that list, Rene, by the way?
No, I don't.
Okay. You should have got a Google notice. If you go to your Google account, you should be able to open it. Okay. I got a couple dozen to do yet. We're gonna probably have to do 3 shows on this. Thought I could get through my list in one. Okay, I'll show a really cool one.
What do you got next? What's next?
Gang boxes. Okay, so you ever done electrical, and you have these switches, and they all kind of like they're close to each other, but I'm in the wrong view, of course. So what I could do now from floor plan or 3D is you can click on those switches. I don't know if there's a distance that they have to be next to each other.
I don't think so.
But you just click on them, and there's a new icon down here to gang those together. So you can make them into one. That's so nice. Back on your floor plan, you can still hook individual things up to them. So that works really well. Let's see here.
I like that a lot.
I do too. I think that's a really nice little feature that they've added. A little productivity thing for you. That's probably what was under the productivity tab.
Yeah, I mean, individually, it's really hard to get all that to look nice. So
in the plan view.
So
Yeah. So I would assume we could do the same with outlets. Let's try it real quick. I haven't tried that. So let's put some, maybe you want a bunch of outlets. I don't, probably wouldn't do this very often, but will it work? Let's find out. I highlight 1, 2, 3. By golly, I got a whole bunch of outlets in one plate now.
hear that.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Go back
So
to
that's
your
telling me I could gang outlet switches, different kind of switches, all of that stuff together. How about
The
if we
other thing I really like is you could change the spacing in 2D. So if you open that up,
Oh, I could do that too now. Oh, just like stacking windows.
probably.
Okay, you got to group each row, and now I can make ganged electrical.
let you do that?
Oh no,
No.
gets me that same
that'd be
stupid.
intense.
They're like, what are you trying to do?
That's
Yeah,
a heck of a wire packing.
Yeah, you're going to cause a fire, buddy. Get out of
all on a 10 amp circuit.
Will you open that up, that ganged now? And now see the plan view spacing? That's something I really like. So set that to like 2 inches or something.
Oh yeah, right here.
The other thing that I like is that you can offset the alignment. So offset it to the left, for instance.
Oh, this. Okay.
Yeah. And so this
Oops,
is
I
kind
guess
of a way that you can, if you have switches aligned with outlets, but you got a plan view that you're dealing with, this is kind of a way you can do that.
Help me understand that.
You ever have a switch right on top of an outlet at a different height, and you're trying to illustrate that they're both there in alignment? This is kind of a way
saying,
to do that because you're offsetting them.
It'll just offset it in the plan view, but it'll still be correct in the 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Like that. And the other thing I was reading about that is you can now have that report on the schedule as separate outlets, even though they're ganged together. So you could have different kinds of outlets in there, ganged in with one plate.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's a
I wish
ton of
Robin was here, by the way, because she would get fired up at this question from Mike.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
What's that question?
She would get blah 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 blah.
What's the question? She's listening, you guys. What's the question?
Permit authority does not require an electrical plan. Would you create one anyways? I would only want to do an electrical plan if it was 100% signed off by the final buyer. And this is where I'm the professional. I know how to do lighting. I want your space to look as good as it possibly can. I am absolutely doing an electrical plan, and don't screw it up.
I'm with you, brother. Besides, you need that in order to hand things out to trades for bids. They need to know whether you're talking about 6 can lights or 60 can lights, so.
Yeah, but he's design build, and maybe he's his own electrician. Who knows?
Yeah, could be.
Hide camera facing exterior walls. You guys ever use that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It used to be it would hide the wall, but nothing on the wall.
Yeah.
Now it hides the things that are on the wall as well.
Oh, cool.
So
everything except base cabinets.
Right. But it hid the wall cabinets.
Which I don't know why.
So yeah, that's a really nice way to look into your house.
Yeah.
So hide keystroke of HW.
So maybe base cabinets because they're attached to the interiors. No, that wouldn't be it. What happens with a toilet that's attached to that wall?
I don't have one attached.
Should be hidden.
Let's go find a toilet. At Rene's toolbar, I would be done by now. Let's see here.
You can give it. There you go.
So let's go.
And is it attached at this point to the wall?
It's pushed against the wall.
Okay.
Yes. If I click on it here, it's bammed. It's bumped against the wall. So no, it does not.
All right. Now raise it 1 inch off the floor.
That's just going to say if it probably takes, the floor takes precedence. The floor takes precedence over the wall.
So you can bump your base cabinet.
Go move the base cabinets up to 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I bet you that.
We're making the 1/16 of an inch shorter and being the 16th off the floor.
Let's just raise them up 1/16 of an inch. And Go hide
This-
my walls.
This is where we just start playing, everybody. Yeah. So
Yeah, we're being goofy now. Come on, what's going on?
so much for the list. We found a squirrel.
It didn't work. I tried it. Still shows it.
How
You're
much
too
higher
slow.
do I have to go? Base cabinets just will not go. Okay. So don't hang any base cabinets on the wall. I wonder if there's a setting for that, because sometimes you do have the cabinets hung on the wall. I wonder if there's a setting in the base cabinets to control that. So if someone finds that, speak up. We're not going to look for it now.
The outlets do turn off though, right? All the electrical, doors, windows, all that turns off.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. You're fine. Nobody can see. Okay.
Dan's talking to somebody on the golf course.
My wife and mother-in-law have to leave. They don't want to be in the camera. Okay. Let's get out of here. And I'm just going to keep going. Rene, you get the show next time. Drag and drop views from project browser layout. I like this one a lot too. So if I go open a new layout, and that's one of the nice things about the project browser. When you create a new plan, it creates a new layout to go with that plan automatically if you want it to, which is kind of nice. So then it stays in the same place, same folder. It's all set to go. You start putting stuff on it. If your template has a bunch of stuff, views already on it, I wonder, would it automatically link it to the new plan and populate it automatically? Have you checked that yet, Rene?
So I do a different thing, and this was in that project management video.
Okay.
Which I don't use the template. I just copy my project that has all the links in it already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. That sounds pretty interesting. What am I doing here? I'm looking to create a new layout. Open.
So basically, new project. That's what they want you to do.
Oh, I would already have a layout with this project. What am I doing? What's new in X17? When I created this, it already created the layout with that. So if I go to new and that, here's my new layout. I think I can just open it from here, right? Open. Come on, there we go. There's my new layout. Let me just tile my screen. So I could take, so I've saved this view. Let's save this view quick. So I'm going to click this icon right here with a pencil. These are my 3 favorite icons these days. And this is my new view, I'll call it. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to then go to my layout, which apparently I closed. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to go to my project browser now, and I'm going to go click on the cameras. And where'd I go here? New in X17. I'm in my plan. I'm in my cameras, first floor. Here's my new view. I just dragged that onto the layout.
Yeah, that's so nice. I feel like this is the start of a really nice feature too. Like this is the entry level drag and drop. We're going to get more robust drag and drop.
Again, remember your alternate move is with your right mouse button. You want to make those views bigger and smaller. Use your right mouse button on the corners. So that works really well. But I like that a lot. So I wish, though, what I could do is just drag this on top of that viewport and replace what's in that viewport with what I just drug on top of it. Because I do, because I might have a lot of viewports in place already where I want to,
Like
I do that all the time.
Replacement mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Put that on the list.
Yeah. Everything we've taught over time is to establish those viewports in your layout and use them consistently. So so that's not available.
Well, you still have to do the same old relink it to, that view, click OK. And now I've just replaced that view with the new one, and there it is. So it's really not that much harder.
Right.
Rene, can you answer Chad's question?
I don't see that screen, guys. What is the question?
In the cross slider 3D views, how do you improve the lighting? Mine seems dark. that I would change to a lighting set, using a lighting set so that it's redoing that 3D based on that lighting set. And then keep in mind, automatic exposure is the default rendering. So if you're talking about a ray trace view and you're in a cross-section slider and it's too dark, you might want to switch to manual exposure and override those settings, especially if you're coming from, an outside 3D view where it's not necessarily using a light set. It might just be using just your settings for how many lights are turned on. So there's a couple different ways you might address that issue. And then, yeah, you're showing a new feature that I love.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So I'm clicking on that gang of outlets. Okay.
And you have one of them connected.
And I've got 2 switches connected to different lights. So I hit my tab key. Now you see I've got that center one.
Yeah.
And I've got this little thing right here. If you look at the icon, it's a light with a little slider on it. So I can turn the dimness up and down on that. Let me just switch to PVR here and see how that looks.
Yeah. So if you've used the electrical connection tool and connected it to made your full branch circuit, now you can control all of those lights from the switch. And if it's a ganged one, like Dan said, you got to tab into it to get this setting.
Yeah. So that's one way you're going to see how that light's dim or off compared to that light now. So I think that's pretty cool. That's going to give us a lot of flexibility with how we do things. So I like that. You can also, what were the other ways? You could go to this one up here, right? And you can adjust them here by adjusting the intensity or brightness. For you could group select them and adjust them all at once if you want. But again, you use light sets, so you would just apply a different light set to the space. You get to cover that one next time. That is
can
on
I
the list.
touch this one about Mike, actually?
What's that?
He's asking, my most favorite thing I've ever seen Dan do is where he creates a reference drawing that shows as-built versus new with partial glass house. The reason I wanted to show it on my side was going to show you how to do this with the project browser.
All right. Well, we've got 8 minutes left.
I probably need 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. 5 computer minutes, hockey minutes, football.
5 my minutes. 5 my minutes.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Here we go. I copied
my.
my entire template plan over and I started drawing just in the last 2 minutes. I drew this little thing here. I already have my as-built sent to layout. In fact, it's sent to 2 different layouts. So I drew what will be my as-built in the new plan file, which is also sent to these layouts. I will click on as-built, replace with. It's going to warn me that the as-built's been sent to 2 different layouts right now. I'm still going to say replace, and I'm going to pick the new plan. That's my active tab right now. This is not a save as. What I did was basically transfer all this data in the new plan to the as-built. So here's the next part of that. I'm going to draw a little addition off the back here. When I go open up my template layout plan, you're going to see there's my plot plan being developed from new. There's my as-built that I just transferred. There's my new on the next page. And it's establishing all my views are pre-sent. Everything's done. I have to rebuild my elevation views, etc. But all this stuff is linked and sent. And not only is it sent to this ANSI D layout, but it's also being sent to an ANSI B layout at the same time. It's the same projects being sent. So this is what's really cool about Project Browser. And then just to show what Mike was talking about is that we could come in here to the as-built side if we wanted to, if this is maybe what we want to do, and pull a 3D view. And then we're going to change our floor reference, which is your up-down floor key. And I will go target my new plan right there. And I can show it as a glass house in this view.
There you go. So,
and I did that in 5 minutes. So
nice job.
There you go.
Even less than
you.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that is cool. Those the floor number. When you click the floor number, you can specify that is this view. Now we're working in this view, and we could save these views. You know, we could hit the save as view and create a new view to do this in, so that view stays, and we just have to go reselect it anytime. And then you're just selecting what you're going to reference. So just pick a different project, as long as they're in the same spot, you know, the same coordinates. You will be referencing floor plan, elevation, 3D views. Any of those different views can be referenced that way. So give it a try. Just click on the floor number, click on, let's see, which one is it? We want to go to the reference display layer, we want to choose, the project plan, choose the project. So choose a different plan, and then you can reference that. Anyway, if you haven't done that before, bring it up again next time. We'll talk more about it. All right, where am I? I think we're getting to the end of our time. Specify image resolution. This is kind of a nice one. I like that because when you're on the layout, you're sending views, the layouts, see how they look so grainy? They'll print perfectly fine. I mean, that works. But sometimes you want them to look nice on the layout page too. I don't think I can adjust it once it's on the layout, can I? I don't think. I have to adjust it on the way to the layout. So if I bring up that 3D view again and I send this to the layout, I now have the option to, where's that? I've never done this before. I just saw it. Current screen image as, what size do you want it to go? So let's go 1024 by 818. So you just go higher resolution. I wouldn't go too high. And let's click OK. You can make it a transparent background if you don't want any background. You just want the house, which is kind of cool. So there you go. So now you're always going to have, why does it look so skewed?
Yeah, you changed the resolution to something weird.
Did it not change it?
Wait, see if you can't go do the other one now that you know where the button is.
Retain aspect ratio. Open this linked view.
Because it's a live view. It's not an image. Okay. Yeah, that's why. Gotcha.
But it's still sending these as a live view.
No, that's just an
image. An image now? Oh, it does become a picture. Well, that's no good. I want my views to update, man.
Well, if you're someone that's sending a ton of these, it's better just sending a static image, because
if you're sending the high res images, yeah. See, I don't do a lot of that, so especially in the early stages of a project. But yeah, if you're creating a layout with high res images, you know, super duper rendered, yeah, you'd want to send pictures, because it would take forever for that layout to print that, because it's going to refresh every one of those views.
Every view.
So yeah. All right.
Is there a way to do the, I wish we could also specify the size of the image on the layout page from the dialog box.
Size of the image on the layout page.
And then bringing it in big like that and having to resize it.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. That's why what I always do is I just save the image, you know, click the little pencil, name the image, you know, name the image, and that's going to be saved in your project browser. Then what I'm going to do is on my layout, I'm going to create the boxes that I want that to be in. So, you know, if I'm going to do, maybe I want to do 3 of these views. I'm going to create the same boxes, and I'm just going to replace that view with the one I've just saved. Name that image. There it is. Click OK. Click OK. Now I can use the icon down here to roll in and out on that to make it fit the box better. Oops. My camera burped. There we go. There we go. Now I can move that in there. So again, when I print that, it'll print perfectly clear. That's how I do it on my layouts, to keep the images the same size. Just get your viewports in there, your layout boxes, and then just replace what shows up in those. And I think that works really well.
Aaron's got a good question that I just want to answer real quick. Can we save in plan when we import image or PDF on the import window, this would be a reason that Project Browser really shines is when we import a PDF, this brings it into the asset manager.
Done.
It's now
Saved.
associated with the plan. When you go save a project file, export a project file to a team member, it will automatically import that with it, and it'll put that in their own asset manager. So
done. Yes, you don't have to click the image and open the file and hit save in plan. I checked this already. It's already saved in the plan. So yes, it'll do that with images and things like that too. So if
I have a question. I have a question, Rene. Can I export to a Dropbox file?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would be my main workflow, working other people.
Yeah, exactly. So if
I don't know what Norman's talking about here. Forget the share model feature.
I don't know, but
the share model feature. Huh, I don't know that one.
Norman?
Dan, can you show my absolute top favorite feature?
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me what it is.
And so many favorites. How do we know?
Will you go to your 3D view?
Bring up a 3D view. I can do that.
You got one right there open already.
Oh,
I know what it is. Temporary dimensions.
You betcha.
That is really nice. I didn't even get to that.
Cool.
You know, you don't even have to do temporary. I could just do my automatic, and there's all my dimensions. Now I could do all my dimensioning in this view. So I could click on that. What did I just put in there? Something I didn't want. But I could click on that now and, dimension it from this view if I wanted to. I can do the same things I could do on the floor plan, I believe. I can add dimensions to different spots. I can, what is that? I didn't read that. I'll read that later.
I'm still getting used to it, but what an improvement in designing in 3D. It's just awesome.
No kidding. It is really cool. There's a lot of things you can do with this. Scott did a pretty good video on the link I gave you to go watch that. The other thing to know about dimensioning, one of the cool things to know about it. So if I want to dimension this wall, I have to click the ruler item. The first thing you have to do is, you see how the plane changes here? Okay. So you have to click the item you want to put the dimension on to set the plane. And then you can go draw the dimension and it'll pick up the things on that plane. See how you don't just start drawing a dimension. You have to click the plane first. And that's what the one thing you got to click on. The other thing to keep in mind when you're doing that is when I click the ruler icon, you're going to get some new icons down here. Okay, those little hidden left column icons. One of them is to draw the bounding box. I'm not sure what that does. This last one is going to set how far it is away from the object that you're dimensioning. I've set mine at 12, so when I rotate this, you'll see that my dimension's 12 inches away from the wall. So you could do that with your cabinets and all that. The other thing to keep in mind with the new dimensioning feature is if you want to change the dimensioning defaults, you're going to go into the little pencil icon here to view the view specifications, and you got your selected defaults can be set up here now. So you could change this for each camera view that you're working on. So if you can use the camera and then you want to do kitchen dimensions, well, change this to your kitchen dimensions and then use that. Change this to your kitchen text and use that. So you would change that.
I set up new default sets so that I can drive the dimension
default
3D.
I haven't even gotten into that. So, but yeah.
Hey, will you select the wall on the other side, or the door on the other side?
And the same thing with text when you're doing the new text in 3D tool is you have to select the plane you're going to put the text on. First, you click the text icon or the hotkey, click the plane you want the text to be in, then add your text. So I'm drawing my arrow first, and then I'm putting it in. Okay,
I struggle with that. I'm glad you're showing this. I've tried it.
Yeah,
failed.
That's click the surface you want. You got to set the plane. That's the key. So when you're doing this, see how the grid is there?
Yeah.
And once you set the plane, then you're ready to go.
Okay.
That's nice.
So
I didn't know that.
that's the
will you
number one
select
thing.
the wall on the left-hand side, the one with the window you didn't dimension to?
This one?
Yeah, go ahead. There's an icon to dimension this, so you don't have to go to the dimension tool. You can go to your
That is right there. That little icon will dimension that. Is that the whole wall or just the edge? I think it dimension. Yeah, it dimensions the selected edge. Okay, there's my active edge. So when I click that tool, it's going to dimension. It should dimension that line right there, up and down. So you got to highlight the active edge you want to dimension. So if I want to dimension the edge of this window, see how I got that edge selected? Click that tool, you're going to get the height. You want to do the width? Do the width. Okay, so let's click the edge. I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
That is, I haven't even used this yet, but I'm already loving it. So
Go back
then
to
you're gonna save
that
the
bounding box. Go back to that bounding box thing.
Okay, yep. What'd you find out on that?
So they did a good thing on a good video on this yesterday. When it's on the bounding box, it's going to dimension to the bounding box. When you select the other one, it's going to dimension to the items in the bounding box.
That's great. That's really great.
You can tell it to me one more time. So I click
Like
on
for
the
a
ruler.
toilet. Like for a toilet.
Yeah.
A toilet is a
Yeah,
bounding box.
that's right. I did see that.
The one it's going to do to the bounding box, the other one it's going to do to the sides of the toilet where you're pulling to.
Yeah, yep. So if I
The
go
one
back,
that goes to the sides of the toilet, does it ignore the handle? The old way did not, and the handle it threw off center.
I don't know.
so when I click on this and I want to dimension the bounding box, I click that, and now I'm dimensioning the box. Again, you got to click the side you want to dimension. So I should have clicked the front. And now I can do my dimension from there to there. No, it does take a little getting used to. I haven't quite got it mastered yet. What am I doing here? Whatever, we'll come back to that.
But anyway, that's what those two buttons do.
But it's really, really cool. So check that out and have some fun with it. I think you'll enjoy it. And the automatic features work too. So if you click on a room and you click the auto room dimension tool down here on the toolbar, it'll dimension that room inside. So that's pretty cool too. So let me get to I'm not going to save that one. I'll get to this view. And again, if I click on the room, hit the auto dimension room, there's the dimensions for that room. I want to move that window. I can do it here. Click there. I can't imagine how they program this. This is really cool. This is more, now we're getting into the SketchUp world, aren't we? I've never used SketchUp, but I'm assuming it's a lot like this. Okay, you guys,
So,
I think we're done.
One more thing.
Okay, just one more. Okay.
Go to the dimension, click on a dimension, and then double click on your dimension tool.
Oh, okay. So what do you want me to
In 3D.
click on?
Click on your dimension tool. Now double click, hit the down arrow and double click on dimension type.
Oh, which
Can
one
you
you
do it from
want?
there?
That
Double
one,
click on that.
Yep.
Is that new or has that been there for a while? It opens it up right to the dimension style that you're using, to the layer that it's on.
I think that's new. I don't think it used to do that.
Is what? Say it again.
When you highlight,
when you wanted to change your dimensions before, you had to go into the defaults to do that.
No, you could always click on the rulers.
You could double click them,
but it would always open the general, I think.
Right.
Here's the other new cool thing. Look at this. Set up temporary dimensions for every
next
view.
show.
Yep, every view. I like that one a lot. So that is a nice one. But cool. Awesome. Well, that was fun.
That was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah. Any other good questions that we have for one more?
What's that one Mike's asking? How many people would it take to request a 1-hour class from your perspective on using 3D mouse in Chief?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be a good one.
Probably one person.
Go buy it. Go buy it. Commit to 1 month of learning it and never look back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just do it. That's one of those things. Just do it.
You'll be happy.
You will struggle the first week. You will not struggle as much from then on. And by the time the month is up, you will be lost if you don't have your 3D mouse. Because
if you're using a Mac, it still has issues, but hopefully it's getting worked out.
Works.
And
shameless
you guys
plug.
got it.
I got a shameless plug before we go.
Oh, go for it.
My new Pro Plan X17, automatic foundation vent calculations, automatic roof vent calculations built in, and
Cool.
brace wall panel calcs as well. Go buy it.
Did you guys know that Rene can now link to a spreadsheet in Chief?
Yep.
It's like Chief does not allow, what is that called? When you can program outside of the program? Rene figured out how to do it.
It's they've had it for a while. It's been in there for a while. A couple of users have used it. I just never really had a use for it until recently. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's really cool is to get right back to a CSV file. I just haven't thought of a use for that, but I'm sure someone has one. So, yeah.
Awesome, you guys. Great show. Glad you could join us. We'll talk more about this next time. Probably next couple of shows we'll do updates on what's new and keep you guys moving forward. Oh, look at me. I forgot.
I like this idea from Chad. We should make a 3D mouse exercise plan. I can guarantee you it'll have a lot of Kevins in there.
Yeah, I haven't set up buttons on my 3D mouse like you have, so I couldn't do all that you can do.
Be like the Star Wars, shooting the Death Star.
Yeah.
Hey, one other thing on the 3D mouse. We did talk about, maybe there's some issues you're going to have to overcome if you're on a Mac. Maybe not. We just haven't figured it out. But also keep in mind that there are 3 different 3D mouse models. Still just 3, right? So which one would you recommend that people get, since you said just do it?
Why don't you bring up that page, Rene, real quick, as long as we're on that topic.
Just hold yours up.
Get Dan and I to argue. That's why.
Just hold up.
No, I would get Rene's in a heartbeat now. I would never buy the one I bought. Okay. Oh yeah, I would never buy.
Okay, Rene, hold yours up. Which one did you get?
I just paid a lot of extra money for a nice hand rest.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got that one now. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you just used the plain old.
I like this one. This one feels very ergonomic to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have the screen on that one. That's just got the buttons.
No. I bought this one because I liked how the buttons were.
John,
you guys have the Enterprise.
You're gonna have to put that closer to your face. There, put it closer to your face. There you go.
There you go. So John got the super duper complex version.
That's the one I have. Yeah. So I paid a lot of extra money.
I like the big grandma buttons. You see these? They're huge.
Yeah.
That's the same one Rene has.
So yeah. So I paid a lot of extra money for that nice hand rest that John just showed you.
I would recommend either one, the one that Rene has or the one I have, because it's got control space, delete right there that you can use. You can still be using the mouse while you're holding the shift key down.
Yeah.
Or the control key for selecting things. That's the one I would. Either one of these two, I would recommend.
That's part of that month-long training of yourself. You have to get used to using those buttons with your fingers. So you have to make it kind of memory. What do you call that? Where you remember automatically.
Muscle memory.
Make us a 3D mouse exercise plan. All right, cool. Uses a space mouse, wireless hockey puck style. Yeah, same one as Rene.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, cool.
I think I gave that to someone.
Your old one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably late night.
We gotta go. We're way over, but we did start late. So sorry about the mix up at the beginning if you joined us because we had the wrong time set up, but we got that fixed and here we go. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Chad's comment. His looks cool sitting on his desk.
Nice, Chad.
Hopefully it's not just doing that. If it's Chad, I'm sure it's doing a lot more than just sitting there. See you guys.
All right. See you.